What is up, everyone, and what is happening, TMB fam? I wanted to do a much different video than the usual stuff. So I just recently switched jobs, and I noticed a lot of people that have just gotten into working with Amazon as far as with a DSP or delivery service partner, being a delivery driver and whatnot. I've been as a delivery driver, and I went as far as being an operations manager with 2 different companies, and went back to being a delivery driver until I had just recently switched. But I wanted to give some insight to anyone that is trying to get into that type of work, what to expect, things that can help you in a way, just so I can pass this information along to everyone. It's not to bash anything, it's not to bash Amazon, it's not to bash anybody that does that type of work, so it's not going to be that type of video. So first things first, your experience with a company is going to vary based off of whoever that you go to, and then also within whatever Amazon station that you're actually at. All companies do not operate the same exact way. They have a different pay scale. They do different pay weeks, as far as some could be bi-weekly, some could be weekly. Paydays are different. They take care of their own hiring and the whole 9. Devices and everything that they use is something that Amazon does not cover all of that. That's all based off of the owners that actually operate the actual companies themselves. Another thing as well, depending on the station, like I said, you can have a smooth experience. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. You'll have days of where things will go without a hitch, and then you'll have days where things are not ready in time, and then that may set you back a little bit in regards to trying to get things done in time. And then also, depending on management and within the station, that can also vary as far as like the type of experience that you have being a delivery service partner or just being a delivery driver with a DSP company. Another thing is, and I think one of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of people think, it can be easy, but it's also hard work. You'll get days of where you'll have a light load, and then you'll get days of where it's heavy as hell. You have your prime week, you have your peak season, which is, November, pretty much all the way through the end of the year, which is the heaviest times. And then, like I said, the prime weeks, as far as they're kind of spread throughout the entire year. When you see those Prime Day deals, that's going to be considered as far as with a DSP company, your Prime Week, and then those are also the heavier times of where you'll get a lot more stuff than usual. Things that you will encounter as far as like when you're on the road: bad service, because every area is not going to have that great reception. You'll come across dogs, of course. It's just a matter of knowing the area that you're at. If you get the same area, you'll get used to it, and you'll know which ones are actually the more friendlier ones, and you'll know which ones to stay away from. Some of the customers can be rude depending on exactly where you're going to and where you're at. For me personally, when I was delivering, I was more in the country or rural areas. A lot of people that I actually encountered while I was on the road when I was doing the delivery driving were cool, regardless on race or political affiliation. Everybody that I encountered was actually cool. I actually had a good relationship with a lot of people that I was actually coming across on a daily basis when I was actually being a delivery driver. Things that you can do to help yourself when you're actually on the road. If you get your device, and this is something that I had to tell a lot of people when I was operations before I left. When you're on the road, you have a setting on the device that actually helps you counteract the issue that you'll come across of not having no reception, or if you have a bad service, because you'll, like I said, again, some of the areas that you get to will not have that great reception at all. So what you can do is a setting called offline maps that will actually help you out. And if you do happen to drop off the network, it'll still operate as if you were still on the network, and it won't slow you down at all. It's just only on the opposite side as far as for any of the dispatchers that can't actually see where you are. It'll update once you get into an area, and then you'll be good to go. Some of the standards that Amazon has. You have to do between 15 to 20 stops per hour, which is doable depending on the area. Some things are a little bit more spaced out, so you can't really hit that threshold. But as long as you're moving at a decent pace, again, you'll be pretty much good to go. I would say the one thing that I will tell you for sure, the stuff that you learn in training, in the classroom training, it is pretty much null and void in a way, because you'll get your first day of actually being on the road by yourself, and depending on the company, you may have a ride along, you may not have a ride along. But a lot of the stuff that you learn in the classroom, as far as like how to organize your van and organizing boxes and things like that, that pretty much is like out the window. So it's something that I told a lot of people, as far as like new drivers that came on board, that, you know, anything that you learn outside of like the basics, it's going to be one of those things of where it's going to be learn as you go, pick up what you can from other people, and then everything that works for other people, you can try to plug it into yourself, but it may not work for you. So just try to take what you can and make it work the best way possible. The biggest thing that I've always told myself when I was operations is that I understand as far as what you guys go through, because, you know, being a driver myself and having to go on the road, I know the type of hurdles that everyone goes across and encounters on a daily basis. The one thing that I will always say to anyone is check all your stuff. So normally when you get your device, you're supposed to have a battery pack and a charger cord. Make sure all that stuff works, because once you get on the road and if anything isn't working and you didn't check it before you left, it can make your day much longer than what it needs to be. Other thing, organization is very, 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 very big. If you are not organized at all, your day can be as long as 10 to 12 hours on a route that can normally take 7 to 8, give and take. Amazon normally gives the person to do a route within 10 hours that they actually pay for, that Amazon pays for. Anything past that, the actual company pays for, and that can go into effect in regards to whether or not if you're going to have work the next day. If it's something that's in your control and you just tend to work slow, or you're working slow on purpose to milk the clock, as we all say, that can also go into account on whether or not if you may have work the next day, depending on the company that you're working for. But like I said, organization is one of the biggest things that I've always preached with everybody. If you organize your stuff well, you can get done with a route within 7 to 8 hours. Normally, whenever I was on the road, I would normally leave out the station, give and take, by 10:30ish, 10:45ish. Get to my first stop by like 11, and I'm normally always done between 6 and 6:30. And that's because I know how to organize my stuff, and moving fast was never a big deal. So it all depends on, like I said, how you organize your stuff. That's going to determine whether or not if you can actually move quick or move too quick. Try to pace yourself, because it is, like I said, a lot of work. The vans do get hot, and in the summertime it can be blazing, and those back of the vans are much hotter than the front of the vans. If you do have to like cut on the air or anything like that, try to close the sliding door, because that air is not going to circulate. It's not going to stay in the front of the van as much as some of the other vans of where it's pretty much cool. But I've never seen a van or been in a van in the middle of the summertime where it has not been scorching hot in the back of it. The only downside to Amazon that I would definitely say, it can be a stable job depending on the company, but the owners or Amazon has the right to dissolve a contract out of the blue without anybody knowing, and then you can go to work one day and then the next day you won't have any work. Or depending on the company. If the owner wants to do it, that's fully their discretion. They can give a certain time notice of when you can trying to find another job with another company, or if you just want to just find something else altogether. So again, it all depends on what it is and how it all works. But that's one of the downsides to working as a delivery driver with Amazon, is that depending on the company, it varies on whether or not if it can be a stable income or if it cannot be a stable income because of the back and forth between the company and the actual Amazon itself. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of that is a hindrance to me. To me, I actually reached a ceiling as to like growth within a company. For me, like I said, I was operations, and operations is directly with the two companies that I work with. We're directly under the owner, and after that, there's not really but so much growth that you can go from there. So if you are trying to be like a manager, you can go as being a lead driver, you can go as being a dispatcher, you can go as being an operations manager, depending on what you want to do. But just like I said, take into account that the highest that I know of and the highest that I've been was operations, and I hadn't been anything higher than that, because to my knowledge, and it may be different depending on the company, that that is the highest that you can honestly go, is being operations. Outside of that though, I mean, it's a pretty cool, pretty good day back for me. It's straightforward. It's easy work. It's just hard work, but it is easy. And then this is only you and you only. And then depending on how long it takes, is all your control as far as how fast you work. But if you have any questions, just let me know. Hit me up in the comments. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you guys have, and any type of pointers that I can help you to be better if you are being a delivery driver. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. So until then, to the next video, I'll see you guys later. Peace.